Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of The Pit. I'm Emmett.
I'm Devin.
Kaylee.
Trevor.
And
It's a bad sign when he starts a video by laughing.
But with all seriousness, we're gonna be talking about cryptozoology in this session. For those of you who do not know, cryptozoology actually stands for animals, or basically the study of hidden animals. And to break that down so you more easily understand, is like animals that possibly exist, but there's a lack of evidence. You know, chupacabra, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, etc., etc. But also animals that we have already known to exist, but they are labeled to be extinct. But there's actual evidence to support there's animals still out there. Okay.
Hang on, I gotta get this out of the way real quick. Goddamn Loch Ness Monster! Get out of here!
I need a tree video.
I said I need about 3 for that.
That's what I was like, wait a minute now.
And for those of you who
Look
want
out!
Hey,
Big
buddy.
fucking roach! Watch it!
Yeah, that's what it's going.
No, it's
Okay,
get
but-
on my chair. I don't give a fuck.
Real time, this is happening, people.
Alright, he's mountain climbing. We're good.
When you live in
Country,
when you live in country, wild animals just come out of nowhere.
because we're in their house.
Okay, how we want to start this?
Well,
Well, what crypto?
well, he explained
What
it was.
cryptos do you believe in? Which ones do you don't?
There we
believe in?
go. Good one.
Okay.
Aliens and Bigfoot.
We consider
Okay.
aliens an animal?
Before I switch to another person, why those two?
Aliens, because there's a lot of eyewitness reports for them to not exist, and I just want to believe. And I feel the same way about Bigfoot, but I mean, like,
We've all heard some crazy shit.
we hear some crazy shit out here. Got a goddamn
Ain't no-
state forest right down the road. We go in there exploring. Here's some wood.
Now, I will say this about Bigfoot. I personally didn't believe in Bigfoot until I heard
remember that.
the first call. I was in 10th grade, actually, and I heard the call, and it immediately made me stop in mid-step and freeze, and like all the hairs on my body stood up, and it was, except for my mullet, which is an accidental mullet, not an on-purpose mullet. There's a difference.
It's generic.
I wore mullets for mullets.
Hold on a second. Let me back up a little so I can get everybody to view without turning the camera 100,000 times.
Turn the camera 100,000 times. I don't give a fuck.
There you
There's a
go.
weird chair and stuff.
Oh shit!
You son of a bitch.
What'd you
The cord stuck to his chair.
do? Oh.
Now grab that thing.
Hold on 1 second, people. Hold the phone.
Technical difficulties.
Oh no. We need that.
The birds have now commenced.
Okay, but please continue, everybody. Sorry about that.
Fucking it happened again. Yeah. Go away.
Hey, he's getting angry over a fucking
This
electrical
is what
cord.
happens when you don't think before you act. Okay, back to subject.
Alright.
I'm an asshole.
But please, back to your story.
Like, yeah, it made me freeze and stop mid-step, and it just freaked me the fuck out. And ever since then, I've been a believer, and I went in the woods and done my own investigations and stuff like that.
Have you actually ever found anything out in the woods?
I love your shirt, by
No.
the way.
No.
No. I've heard calls, I've heard wood knocks, but nothing definitive. Like, that's a track, or I saw it.
You're wearing shoes. You're fine.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a believer. And unfortunately, I do, even though I don't want to believe, I do believe in aliens because
Eating soap off. Dressers.
bad fucking memories. I had a fucked up ass neighbor that told me some stuff and it scarred me for life.
Yeah, my dad obsessively watched the X-Files, and yeah, that, and then all the movies, and then all the History Channel aliens.
Fuck the history class.
The aliens made the pyramids. How do you explain that? You didn't even give me a theory.
The pyramids are actually upside down.
They were meant to be cubes.
Okay,
meant to be
back to
dreidels.
back to subject, people.
I know how they built the pyramids. They wet the
Slaves.
sand and the block.
Okay,
I'm serious. That's how they did it.
oh, babe, back to subject.
I'm on subject. Fuck you. Anyway.
Fuck you, I want to do what you're telling. Alright.
Do I believe in stuff? I don't know.
Well, what do you believe?
I try to not come to a definite conclusion unless I know for sure, or unless I've done extensive research on it myself. Research, which I have
gotta
not.
return this.
So what?
Well, I will say this, until somebody can prove me wrong, I'll still believe. If there's definitive evidence that somebody says, Bigfoot doesn't exist, what you were calling was some hillbilly out in the woods just fucking with you.
In a fur coat. Wait, walking up in the club.
Okay.
Well, see,
That's a cold
you
asshole.
guys, I don't know about you, but you guys have all had some kind of experience
With some fucked up
with
shit.
something.
Yeah.
I have not. I'm not
You've
saying I
never
don't
been with-
believe, I'm not saying I don't.
Once actually walking around.
Bitch the entire time, didn't
But when we did go out, but when we did go out, we actually did find a print.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
We did find a print, but
40 years
basically it was so much in the leaf litter though, and
You couldn't get a cast out?
no, you can see it clear as day just looking at it, but you take a picture, you can't ever see it.
Well, it was also the phone that I had at the time.
True.
It's just not.
Yeah, just blurry cameras.
Oh my god, so scary.
No, it wasn't that. It's just I don't know what it was. Like just looking at if I'm just looking at the ground, you could see it. But if you take a if you take a picture of it, you don't see it for some reason.
I wonder if it has something to do with like some sort of cloaking device.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Maybe Bigfoot's just blurry, and what they're using are these decent cameras catching this mistakenly blurry animal.
That's
Okay.
from something, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
Okay. So.
But
Okay.
still, it's a good point.
Okay.
It's an interesting theory.
We'll see.
No.
Well,
I
if you
wonder
believe
if I
in
ever have any original ideas. It's always referring to something.
because we watch too much shit.
Okay. But
That is true.
I do personally believe in Bigfoot. I have actually had my own eye sighting. I did see one. It happened a long time ago when I was back in high school. Thank you. And it happened at night, saw it with a flashlight. After that, I've been completely hooked on squatching. I am with a Bigfoot group. We do go out and look. We do find stuff all the time. What?
For those who can't see me, I'm doing.
My nose is itchy.
Okay.
It's really itchy.
We, me and Kaylee actually have met all the people from Finding Bigfoot.
We were on TV! Yay!
For half a second.
No, like half the episode.
Actually, if you watch the entire episode, you do see us for a couple good seconds in the town hall meeting in one clip, and then in every single clip where they're like showing all the stuff they've already talked about through the show, every time they did that little quick 5-second little brief, you see us in every single one.
You can see me in my monster beanie. Yay! I was wearing the same shirt too. That's awesome. Anyway,
But yeah, I do personally believe that they are out there. I do believe in Bigfoot. I already pretty much know.
Well,
It is.
just to be clear, we're not saying Bigfoot's a supernatural being.
No.
We believe it's a true species.
It is, yes. I do not believe that is some supernatural being or entity.
entity?
That's it, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's
Right.
nothing supernatural about it. It is just a natural species that knows how to knows how to travel through the brush without your catching your attention. It can very easily camouflage itself with its surroundings like any other animal.
Right.
Even a deer could be standing like 1 foot in that brush, and a lot of times you wouldn't. Yeah, unless you knew it was, unless you actually watched it walk into there, you're not going to really notice it.
Right.
It's like crawfish in the Everglades. They're black like the leaves in the marsh around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Natural camouflage that they.
It is an actual species. I personally believe it is in the family of great ape. And it has been here for hundreds of thousands of years.
Maybe not hundreds of thousands, but...
Yeah, hundreds of thousands, actually.
Yes.
If you actually go back to Dicantopithecus blackie, the near...
What you doing, Blackie?
That is the actual scientific term for it.
Yeah,
That
it is.
It is.
It is. The only evidence we've ever found of that species is its jawbone and teeth. That is it. There's never been a leg bone, skull, nothing. That's the only thing we ever found of this great ape species of Gigantopithecus is its jawbone and its teeth. But based on that size, we know it was between 8 and 13 foot tall.
Goddamn.
It is the largest primate to ever live on Earth.
Goddamn Shaquille, man.
And the most, I don't know how to properly pronounce this or whatever, but the closest in the time period we've ever discovered to our period of time was 100,000 years ago.
Oh, the most recent?
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah. The youngest sample we've ever found
Wow.
was 100,000 years.
And
Wow.
so, Bigfoot, aliens, anything else?
Mm.
Jersey Devil.
Well,
That motherfucker.
like I was trying to. Oh, this actually takes on a whole nother turn. Like I said earlier, the science cryptozoology goes two different ways. Animals that possibly exist that have not been fully discovered by science, and there's just a lack of evidence. Or the other one, animals we already did know to exist, but they are labeled as extinct. But there's evidence coming forward to support that it's still here. That like the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, being spotted. And
Yeah, that was actually a very unique canine species. Basically, it's like a tiger. Has stripes and everything, except it's about half the weight, much skinnier, looks more like a dog than a tiger, and it had the largest jaw opening of any feline species.
yeah.
It's very interesting. It has like almost like a German Shepherd freaking
I'd
face.
say, like from the pictures that I've seen, it was very similar to like a
Giant coyote.
like a giant collie,
Yeah.
like a really narrow.
Yeah,
But
with
long.
less, but with a lot less fur.
Yeah,
But yeah, Tasmanian tiger.
very short.
I have not done
Must have
really any research into those, but I have watched a lot of things on it, and I do very possibly believe it possibly still exists. There's a lot of unexplored territory out there in Tasmania, and it's extremely wild. So it's a very possibility. It is very possible that they're still out there. What other ones possibly exist?
Well, the big cats out in Scotland and the United Kingdom, I guess.
Yeah.
There were thought to be some sort of big cat species that was similar to the Black Panther that was thought to go out extinct. Racist.
Well, here's something interesting.
But there have been some weird videos and
God! Oh, God!
There you go.
it's coming right for you.
Shit.
But
Sorry, guys.
But like there have been some really good videos out there and some really good pictures and stuff.
But
Sorry.
you know, but can I say something?
About the big cat out in United Kingdom.
But here's something I'm gonna say.
Fucking up sheep and stuff.
A lot. I do. Like I said, I do believe they exist. I know for a fact Bigfoot exists, but other cryptids I know for a fact exist. And I know the government knows. The government does know, and I think they are trying to keep a lot of these animals a secret for a lot of different reasons.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
There's one.
But here's something we can all touch base with, and it's close to home. You can talk to almost anybody, or like internet-wise, or read up. The FWC and a lot of other people try to say that Florida panthers are not here in Clay County and they're not in Jennings.
That's horseshit.
Exactly. But you talk to half the people that live in Middleburg.
I can't speak as far as Clay County goes, but I know they're in Mayport. We've seen them in Mayport.
Yeah, they'll all tell us that they are not here. That's a bunch of bull. But you talk to half the people that live around here, they've all seen them.
Well, I mean, just doing some current like information and stuff like that. As our climate's starting to warm up a little bit, species are moving further and further up north, so we're getting species that we normally didn't see. Even invasive species that are only like now in like the Everglades and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start seeing those species move in, like taigu lizard and.
What about that big ass?
Actually, tell them, Devin. Tell them your criteria. What basically how you know all this. Your education.
Oh, I am a environmental science major. I've kind of always. I like to do my. I like animals. Not squirrels, but other animals.
Trevor, tell them.
I've been to many conferences and stuff about invasive species, and I've been to workshops and all that kind of stuff, and
Sweet.
been trained in all that kind of.
Trevor, describe to them not your education, everything you've basically looked at to know what you're talking about in this video.
Any like not necessarily government regulated sites on the internet, but like things that interest me, I go out and do research on. So it's various websites,
Sorry about the smoke.
various encyclopedias. It gives a mystery to it, so it's cool. And there's information out there. You just got to dig for it, and that's what I do. If I need to learn up on something, if we're going to do a video, so I'm not so unprepared with my thumb up my ass, I have the ability to talk about it. Relatively educated.
Since we're speaking about education and science, just really quick, please, for the love of God, do your research and just don't go off of one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
one
of
site
course.
that you got your information on.
Wikipedia is not a reliable source.
Yeah.
Not always.
Don't just read one article and go, I'm an expert on now. This is how it is.
Yeah.
No, you gotta like compare notes with other fucking websites, dude.
Right.
That's like that with Bigfoot, dude. You see so much bullshit off a lot of these sites.
Does it ever tell you how to kill one?
You'd be surprised.
Do you need to like sacrifice a goat?
I saw a website that was
Sacrifice a goat.
I don't know.
I saw a website that was funny as hell, and I took it seriously until I heard the audio clips. Like, they had the audio clips, like, here's what Bigfoot sounds like. Click on the first audio, and it's all recycled Jurassic Park sounds.
Oh my
Like
god.
T-Rex and Velociraptor and...
Is that the Onion?
I don't know.
The Onion is like a really bad satire site.
But okay, back to subject. Back to
funny.
subject. Back to subject. What do we want to talk about next?
Nessie. Just kidding. I don't really care.
Nessie exists.
I think it's just a log.
I don't know. I haven't been out there.
I will say this.
Geological evidence says that it's impossible for him to be there until then.
Yeah, unless it was like frozen in ice from like the other end of the world, and it like got shoved through glacier movement. Right. It would not exist.
The lake didn't exist during prehistoric time. Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
and there was no way an ocean could have flown it. Flowed.
Flown would be like flying.
There's no way that the lake didn't exist.
English
no
lesson.
Way for the ocean to get this plesiosaur into.
Doesn't it actually flow out into the ocean?
It flows back and forth.
It didn't at the time though. The lake never existed.
The lake exists now from glacial melting.
Right. and erosion and all that stuff to actually cut it out.
But I personally, I don't know about, like, when I was a little kid, there was a lot less.
Fuck the History Channel.
Like, when I was a kid, there was a lot less really impressive research into Loch Ness. So all the stuff I learned as a little kid about Loch Ness, it was really interesting and really fascinating. But with all the new research and all the new technology, I'm starting to lean towards it does. Ireland, there has been a lot of interesting videos and pictures coming forth, almost matching the exact same thing from Loch Ness. But
Bull shark.
We'll never know until.
That's a big fucking bull shark. Speaking of big fucking sharks, Megalodon. I've heard some big.
Megalodon, the biggest creature of all. Come to the science center.
I'm not gonna lie. I personally think it's possible it could still exist. It could possibly still exist.
It's like, of all the fucking things that we know
I'm
about
a man of science. I don't rule out anything.
Like, did you hear about the story about the sperm whales with the camera attached to them?
What?
No.
And them just disappearing.
Well, they dive thousands upon thousands of leagues deep.
Places like we didn't even know
Places that
how
we
fucking
didn't
deep.
know existed, and submarines are not capable of going to those depths.
Like
Yep.
Like it crushed.
It will crush the best technology we have. But what they attached to one of the whales was a camera via suction cup.
Really?
And it would go down, and it would go down as far as it could go without damaging itself, and then it would pop off and then float to the top. And then they'd retrieve the camera via GPS, and they'd look at the footage. Well, it popped off, came to the top, and they were like, oh, let's check it out. They watched the fucking video, and it's just them diving deeper and deeper, and it's getting darker and darker and darker, until you can't barely see shit. Until you can make out these silhouettes of other whales just chilling at the same depth. And then another one just rolls up, and you can see its eye pass in front of the camera, and it kind of just like scans around, looks at it, and then like a jostling of the camera, and then it floats up. And as it's floating up, it's like spinning, and you can see it looking down into the depths. They go farther.
Oh my god.
Like they fucking knew, man. Mole people.
Stop!
I mean, we know nothing about great white sharks. We know nothing. We've never even seen them mate. Right.
Yeah,
We've just seen them like snatch the shit out of seals 12 feet out of the air.
All we really know is that they get really fucking big and they eat a lot.
Yeah.
We have no clue how long they live. We have no clue how they breed.
Well, don't they fucking like catch these things and then tag them and then?
I got to see.
But those tags only last so long though before they actually do pop off.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got stuff that's embedded in the skin now that'll follow these sharks around for years, and they'll just track the sharks wherever they go. We got like 3 great whites off our beaches right now, and a really big fucking tiger shark. If you didn't know. But yeah, we know nothing.
Yep. And maybe
little Talbot Island tiger sharks just hanging around there, 16 foot.
Where's this at? I'm gonna take my John boat out there and try to hook that fucker.
Nice knowing you.
Yeah, that's a water ski, dude. Fucking thing.
But yeah, we don't. I mean, our science is only so far, so we have no clue what's really out there. And I mean, that's my viewpoint on the whole thing. Who knows what?
I don't know shit about sharks.
To paraphrase from Men in Black, I'm gonna fuck this up.
It's your favorite.
So many years ago, we knew the Earth was flat. So many years ago, we knew the Earth was the center of the universe. Now we know aliens don't exist. Think about what we'll know tomorrow. That's it.
All I remember is, this isn't an intergalactic kegger.
Hey, old guys.
What?
I know what he's talking about. Okay, but with all seriousness, which cryptid do you possibly believe, with all the literally hundreds of different cryptids that are out there, which do you believe is the most likely to exist and why?
Sasquatch, or that primate, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Sasquatch, Bigfoot, skunk ape, grass man, the hairy man.
Snowman.
Yeah. They're all, just for those of you who may not know,
Man.
everything we are just described to you, all these names, they all describe the exact same animal.
The redheaded stepchild.
Not that one. I don't know. Maybe some cultures might be weird. Might call it that.
Hey.
Well, don't they come into like different kind of like fur types?
Yes.
Yeah.
But also,
depending on region.
exactly, and also, and I mean, with
Ireland.
trust me when I say this, folks. When I say this, because this is what I do. I am an amateur cryptozoologist. I do go squatching on a regular basis. Trust me when I say this. And try to prove me wrong. You look up all the different types of Bigfoot, skunk apes, yetis. Look, yeah. But fucking look up the information on all those different animals. Then study the regions. Everything about that animal that people describe fits an animal that would thrive in that region. Like here's a good example. People up north, the Pacific Northwest, they say all these Bigfoots are around 8 to 10 foot tall on regular reports. And people down here in the south say when they see one, it's between 6 and 8 foot tall. It's a smaller version. Now, you look at animals up north.
They're bigger.
Exactly. They are bigger. They are just larger regardless.
Squirrels are bigger than house cats up there.
Yeah, and now you look at animals down here in the south. An animal, the exact same species animal down here to the exact same species up north. The ones down here in the south are smaller. They're all smaller. Bigfoots up north are bigger. Bigfoots in the south are smaller. The reason why they're smaller is because there's not much hills. The terrain is not so harsh. Thus, their bodies don't need as much muscle tone, and they don't need just larger
frames to deal with.
Exactly.
Big,
And also the fur. Up in the north, the Bigfoots don't need very, very much fur because of their muscle and their fat percentages. They can deal with the harsh temperatures up north. But down here in the south, people say they all have longer hair. And the one I saw personally, it did have longer hair. It was between like 7 and 8 inches long.
What?
Yeah. Well, the reason for that, basically, it acts like an insulator when it gets really hot. You don't have as much direct sunlight, so it's almost like an insulator. It keeps you cooler. And also, the longer hair actually...
That igloo by Bigfoot.
Also, the hair actually camouflages it more better to...
Mo better. You gotta say it right.
Thank you.
Like Spanish moss, which we have everywhere here.
Yeah.
It would match it very, very... You got palmetto bushes, just pine trees. The fur would camouflage perfectly with our surroundings out here.
Just because of all the vegetation being like random and erratic all over the place.
And it just being so hairy, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a ghillie suit. It freaking just camouflages it perfectly. But if you just, like a regular person just like me, except one solid color, you walk in, you would see me in a second.
It was a study. I was watching a study of a person. To the untrained eye, basically what they did is they got 50 people to walk through the woods, and they had a guy stand still in the woods with just plain black on. Middle of the day, nothing. And they had them walk down like a trail, like a serious trail. And at the end of the trail, they were asked, "Did you see anything odd?" Said, "Nope, everything's cool." You didn't see a person in there? And then they go by, they show them the video footage, and it's really funny. The person's like standing maybe 5 yards away. They walk right past him, and he's just standing there. And they walk right past him, and they're like just carrying on their normal conversation, whatever, and they walk right past him. It's crazy.
That's freaky, because all the times I go back out in the woods, checking the tree stands and feed plots and stuff like that, and I'm hearing weird shit, but I can't see nothing. It's probably because snake would have bit me. It's right in front of my fucking face.
Right.
Goddamn pigeons.
I have a feeling this video's running. Where is it on?
It's 31. 31 right now.
Alright, well,
so much for 10 fucking minutes.
Well, that was only for the review I was talking about, but I mean...
Okay. This was a pretty in-depth subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, like, we could literally go on this for actual, no joke,
We've done this
days.
for days.
I'm just,
video.
yeah, we can do this for days because there's so much you can go over. But
Either way,
I think
do your
we're
own
good.
research, come to your own conclusions, etc.
Don't be blind to stuff. I'm Devin.
Open your third eye.
Kaylee.
And it's Trevor.
and I'm Emmett, and that's another session of the Pit. If you want to look more into Bigfoots, go to the SasquatchHunters.com.
Don't promote your site.